Tonight, Indonesia inundated. Flash floods and landslides kill 16 people on Indonesia's Sumatra island. Rescue operations are underway. Seeking breakthrough. Ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah is very close as Lebanon death toll climbs. Dangerous cycle. Russia-Ukraine war escalates as second presidential term for Trump looms. And Turkey pardon. Peach and Blossom traveled to Washington, where they were treated at the White House before their big day, as is tradition. All that and more as World News Tonight starts right now.
This is Derana World News Tonight. Reporting from Colombo, here is Anuradhi Vikramasinghe.
A very good evening and thank you for joining us on World News Tonight. We're here to bring you key stories across the globe, and for this Tuesday evening, we begin today in Indonesia. Indonesian rescuers are searching for missing people after torrential rain hit North Sumatran province, causing flash flooding and landslides which killed 15 people. 11 people were killed in landslides in Kapro district, Padang Lawas district and Tapanuli Selatan district, and another 4 died in flash floods in Deli Serdang district after the bad weather hit the nation. The disaster agency warned people in North Sumatra province to anticipate potential floods in the coming weeks as more heavy rain is forecast. Landslides are frequent in Indonesia, especially in the rainy season. The risk of landslides is often increased by deforestation and small-scale illegal mining operations in remote districts. Japan's space agency aborted an engine test for the Epsilon S rocket after it exploded and caught fire, a repeated failure that will likely push the rocket's debut launch beyond the March end target and delay the national space program. While no one was injured and the fire was put out within an hour, the blast damaged the facility and the cause remains unclear.
An explosion could be heard and a blaze could be seen shortly after the ground combustion test started at the Tanegashima Space Center in southwestern Japan, according to media from the public broadcaster NHK. JSXA said the engine test encountered a combustion abnormality 49 seconds after the ignition. It said there was no indication of injury or damage to the outside facility. The space agency partnered with aerospace unit of heavy machinery maker IHI to develop the Epsilon S, the next generation in the Epsilon solid fuel small rocket series. This incident came 16 months after another failed engine test derailed Japan's small rocket development. Shares in IHI were down as much as 6% in Tuesday's Tokyo trading. An IHI aerospace spokesperson said the company is investigating the cause.
At least 17 people are missing after a tourist yacht sank in the Red Sea following warnings about rough seas near Egypt. The governor of the Red Sea region, Amar Hanafi, said rescuers saved 28 people from the vessel south of the coastal town of Marsa Alam, and some were airlifted to receive medical treatment.
According to the Red Sea Governorate, the Sea Story luxury yacht was on a 5-day diving trip carrying 13 crew members and 31 tourists of various nationalities when it sank near the coastal town of Marsa Alam. The Governorate said 28 survivors have been rescued so far, and Egyptian armed forces have joined the rescue forces. The authorities said it is not yet clear what caused the yacht to sink, but high waves of 4 to 6 meters were forecast in the Red Sea on Sunday and Monday, leading the Egyptian Weather Agency to advise the suspension of all maritime activities.
Thousands of people have marched against the government in Angola, peacefully protesting against the high cost of food and poverty, among other issues. It's the first large demonstration since the contested general election in 2022.
We revisit Angola's capital of Luanda, where thousands of UNITA opposition supporters streamed into the streets this weekend, protesting against the government and the loss of the 2022 elections. Then Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa and the AfDB's Akinwumi Adesina have met with creditors this Monday to address the country's $21 billion debt. Leaders in Harare outlined plans for a debt clearance roadmap in collaboration with the IMF starting in January 2025. And in Senegal, wrestling dominates cultural importance, captivating the nation as one of the most popular sports. The country's biggest wrestling event, the Combat Royal, has just taken place this Sunday, with Modou Lo crowned king of the arenas.
Let's take a short commercial break now. More world news coming on the other side. Stay tuned. On the road to the White House tonight, a federal judge has dismissed a major case against Donald Trump that alleged he illegally sought to overturn the 2020 election. Jack Smith, the special prosecutor who brought the criminal case against Trump, had asked to have the charges dropped. Smith has also asked to have his case charging Trump with improperly storing classified documents dismissed. Trump had pleaded not guilty in both cases.
Tonight, in a striking move, the Justice Department abandoning the federal criminal charges that had loomed over now President-elect Trump in Washington and Florida for more than a year. Special counsel Jack Smith saying his decision does not turn on the gravity of the crimes charged, the strength of the government's proof, or the merits of the prosecution. But the DOJ has a long-standing policy against prosecuting a sitting president, and the department believes the Constitution requires dismissing the cases before the defendant is inaugurated. The judge in Washington signing off on that today. The move by Smith, while expected, a notable defeat after launching a pair of historic cases, a first of their kind against a former president. The Trump team calling today's dismissals a major victory for the rule of law, as the president-elect had made his criminal exposure a centerpiece of his campaign. Mr. Trump often railing against Smith.
I would fire him within 2 seconds.
Smith expected to step down on his own soon, his cases never getting close to trial, stymied in appeals. In Washington, the Supreme Court finding Mr. Trump immune for some of his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, while in Florida, a federal judge found Smith was wrongly appointed, dismissing the accusations Mr. Trump unlawfully ordered associates to keep classified documents at Mar-a-Lago after he left office.
Also in the U.S., record numbers of travelers